Welcome to the Manifestation Babe podcast. My name is Catherine Zinkina, and I'm a manifestation expert, master mindset coach, and multiple seven-figure entrepreneur. I'm obsessed with helping you achieve everything that you once thought was impossible. If you're looking to massively up-level your life, your finances, your relationships, your productivity and success, then you have come to the right place. My goal in this podcast is to help you see the infinite potential within yourself to be, do, and have anything that your heart desires. Think of this podcast as your weekly dose of mindset development to help you maximize who you are and where you're going. Leave it to me to provide you with the tools, the resources, the strategies, and teachings that you need to manifest a reality wilder than your wildest dreams. I know we're about to have so much fun together, so thank you so much for pushing play today, and now let's begin. Hey, gorgeous souls, and welcome back to the podcast. So the podcast you're about to listen to today comes from a free challenge that I have decided to host on my Instagram this week. It is a 4-day faith challenge where I am teaching you and encouraging you to transmute your fear into faith during these uncertain times. There is no opt-in, there are no emails, there are no sales, just pure free content to help you stay grounded, calm, and collected throughout this coronavirus pandemic and beyond, because boy, do we need it. Though the audio quality may not be the best, as I already forgot to plug in my microphone on day one, the content is here to stay on the podcast for as long as you need to really reconnect with yourself, let go of your fears and worries, and come back to the essence of who you truly are, a spiritual, high vibrational being in human form, a light worker for yourself and for others. Some of the practices we go into in these next upcoming episodes are best done while following along with me. So if you aren't yet following my Instagram at Manifestation Babe, I have the video recordings in my IGTV section so that you can follow along. I hope that you guys are all staying healthy, staying safe, and may you find the peace that you deserve in these next upcoming episodes. Remember that life is a game and we are playing the game by keeping our vibration high. You get to choose your thoughts. You get to choose your beliefs. You get to choose your feelings. With that, let's dive right in. Hello, gorgeous souls. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to the 4-day faith challenge. Today we are on day 3 already. I hope you guys are enjoying this challenge where I come on here every single day and every morning I wake up, I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. But don't worry, I do have something really special for you guys. In fact, I am giving you guys the gift that you guys are going to give to yourselves, which is to find the proof in your life right now that you can overcome anything. How does that sound? I'm going to give you guys the most powerful journaling prompts that you could do that I have personally done through many different scenarios where I felt like I was in a dark ass tunnel. I felt like I was never going to make it out. I felt like this situation does not look anything like a previous situation. So therefore, this situation is different. And yet I was able to remind myself of how I've been able to get out of every single situation and how every single situation has taught me incredible things, has brought massive perspective in my life, and how I've been able to overcome any challenge that has been thrown my way. Oh, thank you. I see my husband is on here from the bedroom because we've been stuck together for the last 5 days straight. You know, a great hack, not like you can do anything about it now, but my husband, Brennan, and I were separated for about a week before our quarantine, our isolation, our social distancing, our self-quarantine, whatever you want to call it. And so when I came home Friday and when we decided to go to the grocery store and kind of hunker down for the next couple weeks, not knowing what's going to happen, it was like really fun and exciting because we haven't seen each other for a week. And so we're like, oh my God, we get to spend all this time together and it's uninterrupted. And, like we have the whole place to ourselves and no one's going to come in, no one's what's coming out. Like, this is so cool. And of course, you guys know by day 5, you're just kind of like, all right, can you stop talking, please? I need some silence. Can we have a little separation? Like, I'll be in my office, you be in the bedroom, we do our own thing, and then we can come back together in the evening and talk about what we did all day. Can anyone else relate? Especially for you couples who are perhaps working from home together at the same time for the first time. Like, you probably feel what Brennan and I have been feeling for the last 3 years now, except we, of course, have been able to leave the home and, you know, kind of create separation and create space from each other so that we don't get sick of each other. But now is different. I feel like all of us are kind of feeling it. Maybe we're sick of our kids, we're sick of our husbands, we're sick of our pets. Hopefully not, though. Hopefully you're really taking this time to just savor the experience and savor each other and find the beauty in one another and really get this opportunity to learn more about each other and what makes each other tick and what excites each other and all of these incredible things. Hopefully you're watching movies together. You are engaging in productive activities like organizing your closet, organizing your kitchen. I don't know, Brennan actually yesterday, he went through one of our pantries, our supplement pantry, and just organized the F out of it. And I don't understand this paradox. Can someone please explain this paradox to me? Which is, I'm a very neat person. I love cleanliness and orderliness, yet I can't organize for shit. I don't know what goes where. I don't know how to make a bunch of bottles look good together. It just doesn't make sense to me, right? I just don't have that eye for it. Yet my husband is very messy and will leave things just spread throughout the entire place. Yet when it comes to organizing, that man knows how to play Tetris. He knows what goes where, what needs to get rid of, what should stay, how to organize it, how to put it all together, how to, like, all these incredible skills he has. And I look at him and I'm like, why? I don't understand this paradox. Why do I enjoy the cleanliness so much? Yeah, I don't know how to organize. You know how to organize, but you're really good at messing it up too. I don't know. Someone explain that to me. He is very creative. I've never seen him draw, so I don't know if he's a visual artist. It's so funny. All right. So guys, how the hell are you feeling today? Are you a little stir crazy? Are you feeling any residual fear? How was the tapping? How was the meditation? I'm seeing a bunch of comments. I'm your husband. I'm your husband. Oh my God. What's funny is that my husband is watching me right now. Josh and I have totally been doing our own thing, then coming back together at the end of the day. It's been great so far. I'm very grateful. We just moved into a bigger place. It's amazing, Jilly. Everything happens for a reason. I have friends who have been visiting families and then gotten stuck because the borders of their country have closed down. And I think about it and I'm like, wow, it's like the universe already knew. It was like perfect timing to put you together with your family. And you can't make it home, but you live alone, home alone in that country. And now you're in a country with your family. It's like the universe always knows. So it's like so crazy how this is all happening in perfect timing. And if you choose to see this in a positive light, you will create a positive reality for yourself where in your home, you will be safe, you will be protected, you will be guided, and you will find incredible opportunities from the time and the space that you now have to just kind of hunker down, self-reflect, do some yoga, do some working out. Maybe this is the time to get in great shape. Maybe this is the time to build some muscle. I don't know, whatever you're into. Maybe this is the time to write a book, read a book, start a course, create a course, help people, get to know people. I don't know. There's so many things that you can do. I made a post yesterday listing 25 things that you can do if you're quarantined at home. So go ahead and dive into that list and don't say you're bored until you've done that whole list. Prioritize presence, spend quality time in proximity, and find space when you need to miss them a bit more. Yeah. I've been taking walks as well as jogs with my husband. Yeah, of course. So I know personally for me, I was feeling very anxious for the first 2 weeks. And lately I've just been feeling, it's totally normal. I have fear thoughts that come in around my business, around my team. I have fear thoughts that come in around the timing of certain programs and events that we had to postpone and how this is going to work out in the future and what the second half of the year is going to look like, how long this is going to last. We are all human beings, and I bet you not a single one of us is having any unique thought that no one else is having. And so it's completely normal to have these thoughts. However, I have chosen to stay incredibly focused on the opportunities that are in front of me. And so I get to look at these two projects that I was like, I don't think I'm going to have time for that this year, where I'm like, okay, I already postponed a project to the second half of the year, and now I have 3 months in front of me with literally nothing really going on. So now I can put those projects in front of me and I can work on them, which is so exciting. I also, as I told you guys, enrolled in a coaching certification yesterday that is about a year long, and it's gonna take up a lot of my time, and now I have time to dive into it, and I'm already ahead of my class. I already read all the pre-work, and I'm looking for more things to do, and this is so cool, you guys. And so because of the thoughts that I choose to tune into, I then feel good, and those good feelings are then translating into good actions, and those good actions are translating into good results. Now, it doesn't mean that we can necessarily predict the future, right? We don't know what the future holds. There's still uncertainty for all of us. However, we are living in a subjective reality. And so subjectively, you can create whatever reality it is that you want to experience simply by starting with the thoughts that you choose to tune into, you choose to think, and then that determines how you choose to feel, what actions you choose to take, and then the results that come from that. This is a prime time to also learn how to manifest, guys. If you don't have a vision board, if you don't have affirmations written down somewhere, there's a lot of time right now to set goals, because again, as I mentioned, this too shall pass, and how you use the time right now is going to dramatically affect the time when this is all over, right? Because I believe that this is all over. And I love that you mentioned healthy, made well, honor your feelings. All of them are valid. Absolutely. Do not suppress anything. If you feel like you need to process emotions, go ahead and process your emotions. Don't hold anything back, right? Just understand that you are the creator of your own life. And if you need to do something in order to process something, even if someone else tells you it's wrong, or someone else is going through a different experience, or someone else is really happy around you, but you feel sad, don't let that affect you. Just find your space and your time to go ahead and process that. And yeah, right now is the perfect time to manifest healing around the world. Okay, so today, guys, I don't want to take up a lot of time because I want to give you guys a journaling prompt. Okay, and this journaling prompt, it's kind of long. I mean, it has a bunch of parts to it, but if you commit the time to it, which guess what, you now have, so please commit the time to it. It should take no longer than 20, 30 minutes to really sit down and write down, but how you're going to feel afterwards, I'm going to ask you tomorrow, and I want you to come back and I want you to report how it made you feel. Okay. And how I really want to hear some of your stories too of, other times in your life when you felt like you wouldn't make it through something, like you had a situation or a scenario or a circumstance or event that happened where you thought it was the end of the world, and how you were able to be stronger than that, and how you gained the strength, how you gained the compassion, how you gained the resourcefulness in order to come out of it. And now looking back, what are the lessons that you learned? What are you grateful for learning? Stuff like that. So I want to hear that from you guys tomorrow, but today is the day that you're going to do this journaling prompt. And then I want to do a little bit more tapping towards the end. So today's about proof that you can overcome anything. This is a powerful journaling prompt to help you gain perspective in any challenge that you currently face. And obviously we're all facing a similar challenge. So this is the challenge that I want you to gain perspective in. Now, I will write the journaling prompts on the replay. I will also put them in the show notes if you're listening on the podcast. If you just swipe up, I think if you're on the podcast and you swipe up, The show notes should show up. And then if you're on IGTV, I'll put them in the description box so that you have like a written place. So you don't have to worry about hearing me correctly and then writing it down. I just want you guys to listen to me. Okay, so I want you to think back right now and perhaps even share it with me right now, just a word or a phrase or a sentence. I want you to think back right now to any moment in your past, a past event, a past circumstance, a past situation that was very, very dark for you, very, very hard, a huge challenge, and you felt like you were never, ever going to come out of it. In that moment, you felt like you were in a tunnel and you could not see the light. Okay? Just go ahead and comment something. I know for me, and I don't share this very often, but one of my darkest, most interesting times that led to one of my happiest times, and that happiness still goes on because I'm now married to my soulmate, was a time in my life where I felt extremely lonely. And I felt very disconnected from my ex when we were dating at the time. We were together for about 4 years, and I cheated on him. And the reason why I share this is because that was a moment in my life that taught me so much in a very short amount of time. And it was a very dark moment for me because I had so much guilt that I had to live with. And I felt so unworthy of love, and I felt so unworthy of respect, and I felt so unworthy of just being here, being a human being. Like, I felt like I was just the shittiest person to walk the face of the earth. And I thought that we would end our relationship. However, my parents were very involved, and we went to the same college, took the same exact classes, and he lived with me, which made it a very, very tough situation. And I basically had to live with that guilt for about 6 to 8 months until we kind of could work out our issues. And during that time, I remember being incredibly suicidal. I remember like having the worst freaking thoughts about myself. I remember feeling like this would never end. Like I couldn't get over this until we essentially, graduated from college, which was another 2 years away. And so I couldn't imagine just living in this dark ass tunnel for 2 years, and I just wanted it to end. And what ended up happening from that situation was I ended up actually around that time, one of the greatest gifts in my life came to be, which is I discovered the MLM world. I discovered the online business world, and I used all of this pent up energy and all of these things that I was working through. I dove into learning how to build an online business and learning the power of personal development, because part of growing that online business, we were huge on personal development. My upline, who is now my best friend, Stephanie, shout out to Stephanie. She's an emergency medicine doctor. I already brought her up a couple days ago, and she's currently in the field, helping people right now. And so I have her in my heart and in my prayers every single day that she's safe. And she's such a beautiful soul, and she's the reason why I'm in online business. And at that time, I really gave myself the opportunity to dive into personal development, reading books, listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos, and really like diving into something that was so good for me allowed me to work through that guilt. And then, me and my partner at the time, we decided to, we had to practice a lot of forgiveness, right? I betrayed him. About a year later, he betrayed me in the same way that I betrayed him. And so it's just like a very rocky relationship at that point. And if it weren't for the personal development, if it weren't for the online business that I came into, I would just never make it through. I don't know how I would make it through. It was like my light at the time. It was the thing that kept me going. And then about a year after that, went to an event called Unleash the Power Within. And at that event, I realized that I cannot be with someone just because I feel guilty. And that the reason why I committed those actions was because I subconsciously was looking for a way out. And unfortunately, the way out isn't to hurt somebody, but that's like me doing the best I could with the resources that I had at that time. And so I realized I can't be with someone out of guilt. And I wasn't actually very happy. And he's not happy because he hurt me back. And like, it was just such a mess. And so at that event, I decided to end that relationship. We were together for about 6 years at that time. I also decided not to go to medical school. So that came out of that. And then I decided to move back to Los Angeles. And about a week later, guys, just 1 week later, I met my soulmate who I'm married to today. So if it wasn't for that situation, if it wasn't for me even sabotaging the relationship and hurting that person, even though there's so many different ways that it could have gone, you know, my path had to come from me hurting that person, me learning a lot about myself, learning a lot about relationships, learning a lot about forgiveness, learning a lot about processing guilt, learning a lot of stuff, then making all these decisions, having kind of like this grand moment of clarity in my life of like, oh my God, this is not for me. And then meeting my soulmate who I'm now married to and love so much. And because I learned those lessons, guys, I would never hurt my current soulmate like that ever. And I also promised to myself at that time that I would never be with someone just because it's comfortable, just because I feel guilty, just because it's safe, just because we're already best friends, just because we're in the relationship too deep. It did not matter to me. I made this commitment that even if I was married to someone, even if we already had kids, that if we are not happy, we are not going to be together. It's just not going to happen because it's not worth it. And if it weren't for that situation, I, could be in a different relationship right now. But the relationship I'm in right now is like my fucking, it's just everything to me. He is my light. He is my angel. He's my coach. If you guys think that, I'm a great manifestation coach, just wait until you meet Brennan. He's the one who coaches me on my own shit. He uses all my tools back on me. And so I have such a grounding presence in my life and I'm so happy and like amazing, incredible things came out of that situation. However, during that situation, did I feel that it was ever going to end? No, right? So anytime I'm going through something currently in my life, I always go back to that situation. And I remember literally looking out my window and thinking like, I need to end my life. Like I have no purpose. I have no worth. I'm fucking useless. Like this is the end of the world. I don't ever see this getting better. And how the universe planted these incredible things right in front of me to essentially uplift me and remind me of who the fuck I actually was. And every time I have a challenge, or any kind of situation that is like really bumming me out or really scaring me or, is lowering my vibration or causing me to get sucked down into fear, giving me anxiety, I always go back to these moments. And that's just one moment, guys, right? Like I have many other moments that I can go to. That I would say is the most recent kind of like rock bottom where I really felt like I was not going to come out of it. Actually, that's not true. There's one more that's more recent, which I have shared on the podcast, which was around my whole team. Essentially, I let go of 2 team members, a 3rd team member left, and then it was just me and Brennan to run the business. And that was incredibly scary at that time because the business had grown so much that it was physically impossible for Brennan and I to literally manage the entire business ourselves. And we ended up doubling our revenue with the 2 of us than with 5 people, which was another great lesson in itself of like hiring the right people, not just having people just for the sake of having people. So the journaling prompts, now that you've thought back to a circumstance, okay, now that you've thought back to a situation, I want you to go back to that moment and remember how at that point you had all the very similar feelings and similar thoughts that you have right now about the current pandemic. Okay? So I want you to find an event where you can really relate the fears and the anxieties and the dread or the uncertainty that you might feel right now. And I want you to journal out in your journal, how did you overcome it? Just make a list, see what comes through. Just write down the first things that come to you. How did you overcome it? What ended up happening? How does it feel now looking back at that moment, knowing that you made it through? And I'm reading this because I have it written down and I'll share this with you guys. What did you learn from that experience? What are some things that you can be grateful for that came out of that experience? How did that experience make you stronger? And what did you learn from that experience? I think I just doubled that one. Hold on, let me delete that. We already went through. What did we learn from that experience? And then what I want you to do after that is to list all the reasons why you're going to be 100% okay through this current challenge. What are some reminders that you can give yourself? Are there any affirmations or mantras to really help you ground in that you can repeat to yourself? Okay. I thought I was going to die. Faith got me through, not giving up. I love that. I love that. Love that. So, some affirmations that I want to share with you guys that I have been using, which may be helpful for you, and I'll have these written as well, so don't worry about remembering them. However, I do want us to tap on them. So, similar to how we tap to release negative emotions, we then tapped in order to to anchor in gratitude. Today, I want us to tap on these affirmations and really ground these affirmations into our bodies. Okay, if you guys want to type these out to kind of remind yourselves, or just say them out loud as I'm saying them, whatever it is, works. We will tap through them together. It's very simple. I am safe. I am here. I am grounded. I am protected. I am surrounded by light, and I will come out of this stronger than ever before. So again, I am safe. I am here. I am grounded. I am protected. I am surrounded by light, and I will come out of this stronger than ever before. And if you're having a hard time believing this or really feeling like it's true, I always recommend saying, I am choosing to believe, I'm choosing to believe that I am safe. I am choosing to believe that I am here. I am choosing to believe that I am grounded. Or you can also say, I'm in the process of believing. Because you want to give yourself an affirmation that you believe so that your mind doesn't just reject it right away. And so a hack that I've discovered through many, many years of this work is to give yourself a nice pre-frame to it, which is true. So you are in the process and you are choosing to believe. And then eventually, once you've convinced yourself and really grounded in that you are choosing to believe this, you can then omit that. And then you can just leave the affirmation itself. Okay. Oh, thank you. So you guys, let's tap through this. You know what to do. If you've been sticking with me all 3 days, I just wanted to say thank you for being here. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself so that you can show up for others. You're a beautiful soul. You're a beautiful light. You are exactly what everybody needs. And so keep spreading your light. If you're totally confused about what I'm about to do, just go back to day 1 of the challenge and I give you a rundown of exactly what this tapping thing is. I saw some people come on being like, why is she tapping on her face? What's going on here? But it seemed like the majority of you have been sticking with me for the last 3 days. So let's just dive into this. Let's do the karate chop point, and let's just stick with our affirmation. So this is another way that you can use this. And you would change the sequence in the beginning to be like, I am choosing to believe these affirmations, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I am choosing to believe these affirmations, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Again, just repeat after me as you're tapping. I am choosing to believe these affirmations, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Oh, I love that. My husband knows this is my special time to center myself. That's awesome. Okay, let's start the sequence. I am safe. I am here. I am grounded. I am protected. I am surrounded by light. And I will come out of this stronger than ever before. I am safe. I am here. Sorry, I had to think about that for a second. I am grounded. I am protected. I am surrounded by light. And I will come out of this stronger than ever before. I am safe. I am here. I am grounded. I am protected. I am surrounded by light. And I will come out of this stronger than ever before. I am safe. I am safe. And so it is. Now, just to give you guys a quick reminder, usually when you do this process, you rate yourself from a scale of 1 to 10 of intensity, but that's for the general process. I've been customizing the process just like based off of what other ways that you can use tapping for. Generally, the process, just a reminder, is to rate yourself, set yourself up with what you're feeling, and then despite of that, I choose to I am struggling with XYZ and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then you go through and you process the negativity and you speak it out loud so that it stops. Oh my God, I'm so mumble jumbled right now. So that it no longer holds its power over you. And then when you feel it kind of subsiding, you then go into the positive affirmations, and then you rate yourself. But because yesterday we did gratitude, today we did affirmations, you don't necessarily have to rate yourself on the scale of 1 to 10. However, I'm super curious how you feel right now. Yeah, you should be drinking a lot of water in general. That should be a general rule of advice, which is, do people even say rule of advice? I don't even know if that makes sense. But anyway, generally, that should always be a rule, which is to drink water. But yes, whenever you're doing meditation, breath work, tapping, moving energy around, you should always be drinking water so that it can help you process that faster and then essentially pee out that energy. Good, safe, grounded, at peace, calm. Rule of thumb, thank you. Like what? Rule of advice? Sometimes I don't know where my head goes. Good. You guys are so awesome doing this work. Feeling lifted and grounded and grateful. How many times a day should I tap? As much as needed, beautiful soul. So I like to tap whenever I feel like I need to tap. So if I feel triggered by something, if I feel emotions coming up, anytime I know I need to process something without numbing it, without letting it go out of control, right? Because letting it go out of control is just as bad as numbing it. And numbing it is just as bad as letting it go out of control. So that's why I am a big fan of processing your emotions. Good. I love these little challenges. They help me hold myself accountable to do this work. Awesome. So now that you guys feel amazing, okay, now that you have a beautiful, powerful tool in your toolbox, in your toolkit, which is tapping, which is the meditation from yesterday. Now I want you guys to dive into the journaling prompts. So I'm going to go ahead and write them out in the description. If you're listening to the podcast, just swipe up on the show notes. If you are watching me on IGTV right now, because it's the recording, go ahead and look in the description box. And for those of you listening, just know that when it's uploaded, you guys can come back and look at the journaling prompts. And please do them because I want to check in tomorrow. Okay? I am not going to have them written somewhere, the things that I said while tapping, just because I always tap on whatever's authentically coming through. So it's better for you to also tap on whatever is authentically coming through you at this time. And since we're all feeling different things, I don't want to give you guys like a template. And I want you to be genuine with how you're feeling and genuine with what you need to hear for yourself in order for you to process the emotion. Okay. The name of my podcast is Manifestation Babe. Keep it simple. All right, you guys, tomorrow is our last day, and I'm going to give you guys more good stuff coming your way. Until then, go through the journaling prompts. Let me know what you find. Let me know how you feel after them. I'm super curious. I want to stay connected with you guys. Please stay connected with each other. Stay connected with me. We will make it through this. We will come out stronger on the other side. Remember that we're all safe. We're all grounded. We're all centered. We are all here. We are lights. Okay? And our presence has power. Mwah. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you absolutely loved what you heard today, be sure to share it with me by leaving a review on iTunes so that I can keep the good stuff coming your way. If you aren't already following me on social media, come soak up the extra inspiration on Instagram by following @ManifestationBabe or visiting my website at manifestationbabe.com. I love and adore you so much and can't wait to connect with you in the next episode. In the meantime, go out there and manifest some magic.